So, automatic door bottom selection. All right. Okay. You got a neat. Yes, yes. My old eyes appreciated those higher resolution images. Yeah. Yes. Very cool. So, I'm going to let you take the lead in terms of your email. I've reviewed it quickly, but first question is, are you intending to surface mount this?
I am.
Okay. Is there any chance that you can mortise it?
I looked at that. The frame on the base frame on that box is only 5/8 of an inch thick, and then I started cutting into support structure on the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
So I'd really rather not do that. The bottom shelf is not thick enough to go for that anyway. It would stick up high.
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking was that you would increase the thickness of the bottom shelf. And if that's just not realistic, then let's just move on.
You just give that's outside the box. Just give me a second. Let me think about it. Yeah, I can do that, but I don't want to.
Yeah, right on. I get that, and I appreciate that. Okay, and I can see evidence of what do you have, an offset pivot here?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Oh yeah. Looks like it's somewhat unconventional. Okay. Right on. Okay, well, at the end of the day, this just simply becomes something that's just going to be surface mounted. I would suggest, yeah, right. And I'm just reviewing half-inch gap. Okay. Full light blockage. I love that. As quiet as possible. I've got something for that. Interior door, it's a right hand. Gap under the door is just over half. That's great. 29.5. Mounting, surface mount, right. Color, paint. Yeah, well, anything you're going to get is going to be clear anodized, so you'll have to rough that up, get a primer that's specific or intended for aluminum, and then paint it to match.
Okay.
End caps. Yeah, end caps. Yeah, so the problem with end caps is you don't really end up seeing those on a lot of models.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether the S-Works call it. Some had it and some didn't.
Yeah.
It's not a driver by any means. It's just I was trying to hide some of that structure. Yeah,
and I think that you could come up with something like what I would like to do is to give you the best product for the application and then have you determine a way to contend with end caps. This model doesn't.
Yeah, it's not a driver.
Right. So the part that I would recommend would be if you're in my website, that's super easy. If you're not, I can just, okay. So at absupply.net, in that search box, top center, here's what you're going to enter. The first thing you're going to enter is the caret. It's the character above the 6 on the keyboard. It looks like an up arrow.
Got it.
Then you're going to type in 411S as in Sierra, and then hit enter.
411S. Enter.
Now that very first PDB 411S that comes up, that would be what you...
Just waiting on the side here. There we go. Okay, so I've got a 411S-30-AL.
Yeah, so when you click on that, PDB, Parker Door Bottom, stands for Brian Parker. Of all of the manufacturers who make automatic door bottoms, Brian stands alone in the sense that after his name, he's got letters. He's an acoustical engineer by training. He has designed this product, and in fact, Pemko's original 411, their part number 411, came from Brian. They leased the technology from him until maybe 5 years ago when it expired, and they made their own. Well, the reason I like this is because in terms of the two, when you scroll down and look at the cross-section, the two inserts that are there, they're going to be great for light. But what's really great about all of that is the air, the synthetic rubber, the aluminum, the synthetic rubber, air. All of that conspires to really, it's going to block light to the extent that anything will block light. But it also is great for sound transmission, which it's obviously not in the design requirements, but it's a better mousetrap. Also, what's nice about this, and I'm not sure because I can't tell from your photos, is this drops evenly. It does not knife down on the hinge side. It doesn't drop on the hinge side, then knife down towards the latch side.
Okay.
And if you have a floor that's out of level, you have a problem because of that knifing action. This drops evenly. Also, this has a reasonably low force to push the plunger in, which is what the bookcase is going to be heavy because it's a bookcase. And so this is an option. Now, the downside is it does not, there are no end caps that Brian has with this. And even at that point, because these surface mount models that you would want would be really thin, end caps, like you had said earlier, you don't see them.
Let me ask you this. I was looking at a bunch of videos, your videos included, and when I saw them, a lot of them leaked light at the ends and the corners. And I look at this one, and it looks to me like if I trim this so that I need just a little clearance on the left-hand side, on the non-hinge side, so that it doesn't bind up as it opens, it looks to me like there's going to be a light gap there.
Yeah, there's going to be. There's certainly going to be. There's no doubt. Depending on what the jam structure looks like, you might be able to install what we would call a dust pad, which is nothing other than if you think of Velcro, hook and loop tape, if you think of only the loop half of that, that's kind of what a dust pad is. And people will put that on the jam to block that light. And it does a decent job. And you could just type dust pad, 2 words, and you'll come up with the concept that we stock. That's what's used as a 1-2 punch combination with not only automatic door bottoms, but any kind of door bottom, because you always lose you don't have full coverage.
Okay. So if I were to, give me a second. So I could put a little felt pad or something right on that door jamb where it matches.
Right. Yes. You could also just get, you could also get some self-adhesive material and just line it there. That would be, there'd be lots of examples of it, like Pemko's S44 or a triple thin adhesive. You put it on there, it'll block some light to a certain extent. S44W would be a good option. It's white. You're not going to see it. It's a single, very thin. And we do stock those as well. The carrot search is only going to show you what we physically have on our shelf. So if you typed carrot S44W or something there that, you could toss on there. And not super expensive and will be reasonably effective.
Okay. So it looks like I can cut 100 mils off of this. 2.5 inches.
Yeah. So what's really truly great about Brian's design is it's utterly unique. You can probably cut that thing down to 12-inch, and I've got a video of me doing it. There's probably some published documentation on that page. He's got a brilliant design. And those knife action style, the traditional automatic door bottoms, what you want is as soon as the door starts to open, it lifts at the latch side, because remember when your physics teacher made you think about a record, and your speed, if you're standing in the center of the record versus the outside of the rotating record.
Right.
Same sort of concept here. However, that's really an accommodation for a lack of elegance in the design, because you're not going to draw this thing down so far against the floor, which people do. I had a long conversation yesterday. They didn't know why it was dragging because they had the plunger so far out. You just want it to kiss the top of the surface. So yeah.
Okay,
and
got it.
Yeah.
I can cut this with a hacksaw?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, depending on how much you have to cut. If there's more to it if you're going to cut it drastically. If you had an application where you needed to take a 3-footer and cut it to 30-inch, there's more to it. You have to bend the steel rod that's inside, cut and bend the steel rod that's inside of there. But lopping off ½ inch, that's just going to be a hacksaw.
I need some. There must be a spec on this that says if that's what you need, cut it down an 1/8 inch more than that, or something like that. Is there a number on that?
Well, that's what I do. I've actually found, because I run a CNC, you end up starting to think about in like 5/1000ths, 10/1000ths of an inch. If it was me, I would really be looking for something more like 0.1 divided by 2. But yeah, 1/8 of an inch is going to be good.
Okay. All right.
I would tweak it slightly, but that's only because I get to think about dancing on that third decimal.
Let me ask you another question. If I decide to look again into your thought of putting it inside the frame face and making it thicker and putting a mortise in, can you give me a suggested part number for that?
411. So carat 411. M as in mortise. S for surface. Ryan really keeps it simple.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. The insert, is that removable, replaceable?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if I decide I want to cut this aluminum down to enough to fit and leave that insert a little bit long to see if it solves my problem without a felt pad, I can do that, right?